All right, welcome back to a new GOAT format video, guys. Just wanted to bring out the top 8 decks from PWCQ 50 or 67. This is all GOAT format. I can't even speak. Prior to Cybernetic Revolution coming out, so there's no Cyber Dragons. There's actually a specific format for GOAT format after Cybernetic Revolution comes out, but this is all taking place prior to Cybernetic Revolution. That's kind of how GOAT format is here. So we're taking a look at the top 8 decks from the most recent event, which again was PWCQ 67 that happened back on September 21st. There were 38 players, I believe. I'm gonna just kind of fool around here for just a sec. Yep, there were 38 players. Looks like the winner was Warrior, so we'll get to that in a moment. But yes, we're going to talk about the top 8 decks, starting with this Earth Beatdown deck. Very different, playing a few key cards that are usually not usually seen, especially in the main deck. A couple cards to note here. Of course, we have the Rock Spirit. I'll read that off in a moment, but we have the double Mystic Swordsman level 2 in the main. I thought that was pretty good. Only one Gigantes in the 55 cards whatsoever. I thought that was fairly an interesting choice. Usually I see this at least 2 or 3, so only seeing one here, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but we got 2 Kaiku. We do have we are rocking a Magician of Faith, so that's fairly neat to just kind of keep it real, because it looks like you're not going to really be setting a lot. Like, you can set the Warrior Lady, but you can also set the Magician of Faith, so kind of gives you a little bit of an edge here. We have one main deck Mind Control, again, for the for the most part for the flips. Easy way to get out of like Tribe Infecting Virus, easy way to get out of like a Chaos Sorcerer or a BLS, because you can just banish itself. So I like the one of Mind Control in the main. I think that's a pretty good card. I've been a fan of Brain Control myself lately. But Mind Control has definitely got that edge of removing those face down effects. Looking at the traps, we got the big 2. No Torrential Tribute I'm noticing, which is fair considering that you want to keep your monsters on the board. Double 7 tools in the main. I think this is a pretty good choice. Because there's not a lot of spell or trap card removal besides Heavy and MST. No Dust Tornadoes stops any possible chaining that your opponent can do with burn. Actually a pretty good tech, and it's only at the cost of 1,000 life points as opposed to half of your life points, which is quite a bit when you consider that you do it, if you'd have to do it multiple times. Triple Dust Shoot in the main, 1 Zing Zang Zoo in the main deck as well. Looking at the side deck, mostly feels pretty standard in terms of the monsters. 1 King Tiger, 1 Kaiku, 1 Mobius, 1 Jinzo, 1 Kinetic Soldier, considering that it's or Cypher Soldier, considering that it's an Earth, and it just works very well against Warriors. A Asura Priest for any goat matchups, an Amazonist Archer. Being able to tribute 2 monsters to deal 1,000 life points can always be pretty good. Big Bang Shot is really funny, probably with the Asura Priest, but actually just something as simple as just gaining a few attack points can put you in a good spot, because it can help you get over stuff like Blade Knights, Zambiras, any other big monsters like Kaiku that I'm thinking of. Like Kaiku, you can get over Kaiku. So actually not overall a bad tech choice in here, in my opinion. Double Mystic Walk probably for burn. Double Threatening War, I'm going to take a wild guess that that's probably for Reasoning Gate Turbo matchups, because they can just go off, and if you have that Threatening War out there, it kind of gives you the chance to come back and then a Widespread Ruin. Kind of curious on the card choice of Widespread Ruin over just like a 3rd Sakuratsu armor. I'm kind of wondering what the thought process there was. But yeah, we got the Rock Spirit, which is probably the most interesting tech here. So it says, I don't know if I can get that to go over, so I'll just read it. This card cannot be normal summon or set. Can only be special summon by removing one earth monster in your graveyard from play. So this kind of takes the spot of Gigantes, why there's only one in there. It says increase the attack of this monster by 300 points during your opponent's battle phase. So during your opponent's battle phase, this card's attack is 2,000. Not a lot of monsters getting over that. Like I said, Blade Knight can collide with it if it goes to battle with it and the opponent only has one card in hand. So actually a pretty good tech, because Gigantes himself can't get over Blade Knight. So this is actually pretty good. This is actually a pretty good tech. This was 5th through 8th place by the Mock. So congratulations on your top 8. This looks really fun. 7th place we have Yada 88's Goat. This looks like Chaos Control with mostly just Chaos Control. There's only 15-16 monsters, so it seems a lot more like Goat Control, but it does seem a lot more Chaos oriented mixed in. Very cool deck. Definitely you have the Scapegoat, you have the triple Scapegoat, double Metamorphosis, double creature swap interaction going on, with Asura Priest and Tsukiyomi as your spirits, so you can creature swap over your spirits and then you can get them back at the end of your turn. I do not see Mystical Space Typhoon in the main. I see it in the side deck. Very interesting there. We're playing obviously Pot Graceful Delinquent, Heavy Snatch, Double Knock, and then our good package. Triple Jar of Greed in the main, one Raigeki Break, double Solemn. All interesting choices. Jar of Greed, I think, is just a card that some people just choose to respect or choose not to respect. So I think that's a good tech choice here to keep things rolling. One Raigeki Break because you're playing the Thunder Dragons, or you can discard like Sinister. You can discard, your Light or Dark if you need them. If something is, especially if something's like not useful, like a Asura Priest isn't always useful, so it can be a good Raigeki Break target. And then, of course, the double Solemn to make sure you stay in control of the game. We have one Dust Shoot in the sides, or in the main, one Dust Shoot in the side, triple Saku in the side, the third Solemn's in the side. We have another Raigeki Break also in the side. I actually really like this tech choice, having one Raigeki Break in the main, one in the side. It's kind of like that. It could be like that additional Dust Tornado, but it can also be that additional monster remover that you just need to have that you don't have. Double Zambira in the main or in the side deck. I think that this is an okay tech choice. Double Book of Moon, solid in case you need to use them for again, to keep control of the game. One Mind Control, pretty standard there. Double Mystic Walk, again probably for the burn. Anything interesting on the fusion deck choices, because we're playing Metamorphosis, so I always like to take a look at the fusion deck to see what that's like. Probably doubles of all the ones that we're gonna see the most of. I see double Dark Bolter, double Ryusenchi. I don't see, very interesting enough, I don't see a Fiend Skull Dragon in here. I don't know if that's necessarily useful, but I always like to make sure that when it comes to like Dark Bolter, Ryusenchi, Fiend Skull Dragon, like I have one of each in my fusion deck. I probably would have cut like the Master of Oz for it if I had to cut one. Now in Go format though too, most notably, you could have more than 15 fusion deck monsters. You don't have to have just 15. I think Dueling Bug only allows for up to 15, but you can have as many as you want. I literally have a fusion deck full of like over 50 or 60 cards, I think, at this point. Mostly having 2 of each, some 3 of each, like Thousand Eyes Restrict, for example. So if I had to choose my 15 and I had to have 15, Fiend Skull Dragon would definitely be in here. I'd probably take out the Master of Oz for it. But I do like the inclusion of the level 7 King Dragoon and the Last Warrior in case you brain control or take like Fusilier Dragon or something else that can potentially be a level 7. And then of course you got your Darkfire to have a dark monster, so you can Metamorphosis, say like, I don't know, something dumb like a Asura Priest or a Gravekeeper Spy, get a dark in the grave, and then you have another dark here in case you got like a Chaos Sorcerer and BLS play. So always a good card to have there in Darkfire Dragon. That again was by Yada88. Congratulations on your top 8. All right, Chaos Turbo by, we got Michelle Cimino. Congratulations on your top 8. This looks very turbo, very Chaos Turbo-esque. I don't know if there's a whole lot here that seems to be interesting. One Solemn Judgment in the side and Torrential Tribute in the side deck, which I think is okay. I think this Torrential being in the side is good, considering that we play 3 Raigeki Break here. Playing double upstart, playing card destruction. Looks very turbo-esque. Congratulations on your top 8 again, Michelle. We have another Earth Beatdown by Beals this time. Looks a little bit more standard to Earth Beatdown. We have triple Gigantes, triple DD Assailant, double Giant Rat with injection. Double Smashing Ground, triple Dust Tornado. I think that that's very interesting, considering that they're still missing a lot of other stuff that's not in the main. Like, it's not that it's missing, it's just not there. It's somewhere else. But we have triple Saku and Torrential on the side deck. Very interesting to me. We have a lot of monster removal as it is, with triple Dust Shoot, Ring, Mirror, Snatch Steel, double Smashing Ground, triple DD Assailant. We got play 3 Goblin Attack Force, Exile Force, Tribe. Like, there's so many ways to get rid of monsters in here. I think that makes the triple Dust kind of worth it, because you got that spell and trap card removal that you're looking for to pair it up with all of the monster removal that's on board or that's in the deck. Let's see. I didn't realize I was going to lose my voice this much. Side deck, we have 1 Kinetic Soldier, or Cypher Soldier, I guess. I'll call it Cypher Soldier going forward, for Warrior matchup, which is good. Triple King Tiger. I wonder how that played out. Double Kaiku was good. 1 Mind Control, 1 Mystic Walk, 3rd Smashing Ground, Swords, and then, like I said, I mentioned the traps. GG on your top 8, Beals. All right, now we move into the top 4. We have another Chaos Turbo deck, this time by Sui7. Congratulations on your top 4. Very similar stuff here, maybe just a few different deck choices. I think we only run 20. We run 21 monsters here. I think we ran just about 20 monsters in the last Chaos Turbo deck that we got to take a look at. Card Destruction is in the side deck. It's not in the main deck. I'm kind of wondering how that played out. If that really was relevant or not. I'm not entirely sure. We have 1 Wind Blast, 1 Raigeki Break in the main deck, and then we have a Raigeki Break in the side. I'd really love to know how that worked too. I genuinely like Wind Blast, but Wind Blast to me seems like a card where you're trying to maintain control, as opposed to you're trying to get rid of something problematic. Because with me, Raigeki Break is a card that gets rid of things that are problematic, that your Knight Assailant can't do, your Graveyard Keeper Spy can't do, or, you know, they get knocked so they can't do anything anyways. Like, I feel that Raigeki Break is a much better card here than Wind Blast, so I'm very curious to see how the Wind Blast worked out for them. But regardless, congratulations on the top 8. Nothing to really note in the side deck other than, you know, we got triple Saku, double Solemn, the 1 TT. So TT really making its presence more in the side deck than in the main deck here, which I think is totally fair, considering you have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 different flip monsters in which they are meant to be flip monsters, and then you have Tribe and the Chaos package. You don't really want those getting TT'd either, so totally makes sense. The other 3rd and 4th place, we got Warrior. It just looks like just pretty much straight up Warrior. Plays 1 Jar of Greed in the main with 2 Dust Tornadoes, triple Solemn, triple Saku, only 2 Dust Shoot. I actually am okay with that. I have no qualms or concerns. I think that's actually a pretty good trap lineup. Double My Body as a Shield in the side deck. I think that's actually a really good tech. Mostly due to the fact that, you know, there's not a lot of cards here that are banishing just to banish. meaning like there's like dimensional prison isn't a thing much. Bottomless trap hole still really isn't a thing much in GOAT format, which I think it could be, especially with decks like warrior running around. I definitely think that bottomless trap hole could be a good card here, but again, my body's a shield probably came in clutch probably for a couple of matches, I would imagine, because of cards like Sakuratsu, cards like Smashing Ground, cards like Exile Force. They're all of them are just destroying. All of them are destroying. So I think that that's a pretty good tech to have. And you got Ring of Destruction, of course, as well, and TT and Mirror Force. Like it's all over the place. My body is definitely a great card here. Double 7 tools are seen here in the side deck as well. I think somebody else had them in the main deck. So definitely a solid tech choice. 1 Curse Seal, the Forbidden Spell. I'm guessing, to make sure you not only not see that plus with Pot of Greed, but you never see it for the rest of the duel. Same thing here with the Widespread Ruin in the side deck. Makes a little bit more sense to me here because we have triple Saku in the main to have a Widespread Ruin in the side. But yeah, congratulations on your 3rd and 4th place SDL Killa. I've definitely seen him around in the previous GOAT format videos going through top 8 deck lists, so congratulations. 2nd place here we have another warrior. Looks like Warrior Chaos almost, but more warrior, but with a few spice techs by Oops of Cow, I think is how I pronounce it. Ups of Cow. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Looks like a fantastic and a fun deck. Clearly looks like we got the warrior toolbox in here, along with some really cool techs. Only 2 Kaiku, not 3 Kaiku. But we're playing a Magician of Faith, which is seeing a little bit more play in warriors every now and again. But we're playing a Reaper. We're playing a Zaborg as well, which I think are really good techs. We're playing a copy of Ceasefire, which in Go format, like before it took off and became what it is today, when people were playing Go Control, Ceasefire was played because it could help, not necessarily negate, but get it so that your opponent couldn't get their flip effects, and then also burn them for damage. I don't know what the point of this was here. I do see some like weird interaction that could happen, like if you want to summon Mystic Swordsman level 2, you gotta make sure you can't activate that Ceasefire, but there is plenty going on here to keep the deck going. Like I said, 1 Saku, 3 Solemn Judgment, TT being played in the main here with Ring and Mirror Force. So I mean, I'm sure that card interaction really isn't all that bad. But Ceasefire definitely a great card to help not get flip effects and stuff like that. So I like that. I like that inclusion in here. Playing the 1 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 Magician of Faith in the side deck. Those are very interesting to me. Again, kind of being able to shift towards more of a chaos variant of warriors. Kind of similar to what I was doing, minus the whole Last Will Cyberstein package. Very much like a 1 Brain Control in the side deck, MVP card. Definitely like to see that in there, and I think that's a good tech choice. I hope that worked out. Double Smashing Ground, double Dust, double Saku. Very solid deck all around. Congratulations on the 2nd place. Oops of Cow. And then of course in 1st place then we have Ludi Pablione, I think is your name. I apologize if I get that wrong again. Congratulations, it looks like you won with warriors. So here looks pretty standard. We got the Magician of Faith in the main spell lineup. We could play 1 Book of Moon, 1 Mind Control in the main deck. I like those tech choices, considering with Book of Moon we're not playing any Sakuratsu in the main deck. We're playing a lot of Spell and Trap Hate. Double Dust Tornado, the Zing Zang Zoo, of course Heavy and MST, Triple Solemn, 1 Jar of Greed to keep the deck going, so it's a 39 card deck. Definitely like this build. Congratulations again. And then of course on the side deck we got double Asura Priest, double Cypher Soldier, double DD Assailant, 1 Mataza the Zapper. Very interesting, but good ways to like get in there for some really easy damage. 1 Mirage Dragon, probably to help with the grind with Sakuratsus, and I think that's actually a really good tech choice, considering that usually I think what a lot of people do against warriors is they try to match up with the trap lineup in terms of like, well, if I play, I could side in 2 Kaikus to like help match up with some of the warriors, and then I could play Sakuratsu armor to kind of like cancel others out, so like it could make sense. But Mirage Dragon just says, nah, you're gonna have to find another way around me, and I think that is a very, very cool tech. I definitely want to try that out. Book of Moon, a second Book of Moon in the side, Giant True Nade in the side, which I think is interesting, but I do like the tech choice. A deck can actually help make trap dust shoots live. If you just happen to have if your opponent happens to have a lower amount of cards in their hand, and bringing spells and traps definitely increases that chance of that happening. Third dust in the side, double smashing, and then a Sakuratsu armor in the side deck. Very cool set of decks. So we got a couple earth beats, we got a couple earth beat decks with some really cool tech. We had one chaos control, and then we had a couple chaos turbo and a couple warrior decks. I mean, not really the most standard stuff that I always see with GOAT control, with GOAT format, but definitely cool to see a little bit of variety more than just chaos turbo and warriors sitting at the top spots. Unfortunately though, in this format, at least for the top 4, we got 1 chaos turbo, 2 and then 3 some kind of warrior decks. So unfortunately, even though there is some creativity that does happen to squeeze its way up there from time to time, this tournament, chaos turbo and warrior take the day. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have anything you want to add to it, please throw in the comments below that you think might be interesting. Let me know what you think of the top 8 here, where things are going, and I'll see you in the next video.